Welcome back to the Devil May Cry Complete story. Now chronologically, this is where the first true game in the series comes into play, following Devil May Cry 3, so let's get to it. Dante, our half-human, half-demon hero, still owns his demon-killing shop, which is now going by the name of Devil May Cry. In usual Dante fashion, this adventure once again begins with Dante being attacked by somebody trying to test him. He explains that he uses this shop to hunt down the demons who specifically killed his mother and his brother. The woman who attacked him explains that her name is Trish and that the demon known as Mundus is returning, and that this is the demon that killed Dante's mother and his brother. Dante doesn't need much more to convince him, and boom, Trish and Dante are in front of the castle where Mundus is coming back at. Trish quickly vanishes up and over the wall, leaving Dante to get to work on his own, but that really doesn't bother him too much. His exploration of the castle leads him to meet many of the castle's demons that are there to stop him. But come on, this is Dante. None of this is a problem. But there is one interesting enemy that he comes across, and that enemy goes by the name Nello Angelo. Dante fights against Nello 3 times, where Nello runs away upon seeing Dante's amulet. Eventually, Dante corners Nello, and the two of them have their final fight. And it is here that Dante sees that Nello has the other half of the amulet that Dante wears. Back at Devil May Cry 3, Virgil, Dante's brother who has the other half of Dante's amulet, stayed in the demon world to fight against Mundus. This creature called Nello is actually Virgil, Dante's brother. Mundus must have changed him into one of Mundus' soldiers, and has now been forcing him to fight against his own brother. Not that Virgil has much of a problem with this, because he always fights against Dante anyway. Well, Dante puts Virgil out of his misery, and he takes the other half of the amulet, and it gives Dante all of the power, changing the Force-Edged sword into the Sparta sword. The Sparta sword is the sword of Dante's father, the demon Sparta, and the arch enemy of the final demon in this game, Mundus. Following sending his brother to the afterlife, Dante meets back up with Trish, and she betrays him. Apparently, she's been working for Mundus this whole time to get Dante here. And as it turns out, Dante ends up saving her from her own destruction. But he only saved her because she looks like his mother. And he tells her that, and then tells her to get away from him. Losing his brother, Mundus making a demon clone of his mother, Dante's pissed, and when Dante becomes pissed, he decides to let loose all of his power, showing his true form. Mundus, in response to this, transports Dante to the demon world to face against Mundus on his own terms. Finally confronting Mundus, Dante asks him why he made Trish look like his mother, and Mundus just replies, "It weakens you." They have a crazy, badass epic fight with Dante unleashing all of his power onto Mundus, and finally defeating him. Dante then leaves the amulet and the sword with Trish as she lays there unconscious, and he begins to walk away. But Mundus isn't done yet. Now, much weaker, Dante is actually having a problem fighting against Mundus, but Trish runs in and she gives Dante all of her power, giving him enough power to seal Mundus back in the demon world. Mundus' last words are that he will return and he will rule this pathetic human world. Trish falls to her knees and she begins to cry. Where does a woman who looks like Dante's mother go? Especially one that is a devil. And Dante tells her she's human now because devils never cry. Both Dante and Trish escape the island, and Dante renames the shop to Devils Never Cry, with his new partner, Trish. And that's the end of Devil May Cry 1. And I'll see you guys next time right here at Eligible Monster when we cover Devil May Cry 2, the game that a lot of the true fans really didn't like out of the original series.